Hey Jim, can you hear me? I have been struggling to get this technology working because I don't actually know how it works. I saw that Jim was here, someone was here, and they've now gone. But I've shared a link in our group, so... Hey Pia, how you doing? Can you hear me okay? I don't know if I've set this up right. Okay, so you can hear me. Excellent. Good, good, good. I am so dumb when it comes to technology. So I started the live at the time I said I was going to, and I realized that I was unlisted, which was why no one can see me. Yeah, oh, bedtime for the kids. That used to be such a challenge for me when my kids were younger, and now they just kind of put themselves to bed when they want to. So when they were little, they used to point blank refuse to go to bed. I used to tear my hair out. I am so glad they're beyond that age. So anyway, I am here opening up the new Scribbler box. I haven't opened up a box on this channel for a while. I haven't actually posted anything to this channel in a really long time. There's been a bunch of different reasons for that. One of them is just that I've had a lot going on. There's been a lot of travel going on in my family. Over the summer, I was in South Africa with my older son. A lot of travel within South Africa, and I just didn't feel like making videos when I was there. And just last week, my younger son and my husband were in Las Vegas attending a major car show there. My son has been making waves in the automotive industry as a journalist and as a car builder. And he is the youngest person who was granted media credentials for this car show. And at 16, he's accomplished a lot. I'm super proud of him. If you're into cars, check out his YouTube and his channel. He's 16. He'll be 17 on Christmas Day, actually. His YouTube and his Facebook are Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E, Longevity. So a lot of his videos get posted on the Facebook page. So, check it out. It's actually very cool what he does. And then in December, about a month or so from now, my younger son and I will be going to South Africa. So I get 2 trips there this year. We ended up with a bunch of travel vouchers from COVID when trips had to be canceled and rescheduled and what have you. So that's why I'm traveling so much. I've got to use up these vouchers. Not that I'm complaining. It's always nice to go there and see my family. I'm just trying to get this Scribbler box open. I'm trying to use one of these little tie thingies that came with the microphone that I'm currently using, but it doesn't really work. So I'm going to try to use my fingernail instead. You would think I would have come prepared with a pair of scissors or something, but that would be too easy. There we go. It's opening up. Oh, I think I gave myself a friction burn on my finger, but that's okay. Okay, so let's see what is in this box. I hope bedtime for Pia's kids is going okay. Always feels like a bit of a battle zone. Okay, so the first thing we have is the writing contest. So you get the logo on the postcard and the contest is at the back. And how it works is that one kid is annoying, but I'm going to tell you a bit of a secret when it comes to parenting. That part doesn't change. Just the nature of the annoyances kind of evolves. Yeah, I may be, if you heard something in the background there, we may be interrupted by one or the other of my kids. Schools in Ontario schools in our school board specifically are closed because there is a strike, an education workers strike. I'm not mad at the people who are striking. They're being treated absolutely atrociously by the government. So, but it means my kids are home, so they may interrupt. Anyway, how this contest works is that you write your answer to the contest question on this postcard, and then you take a picture of it and you post it on Instagram, and then Scribbler chooses a winner, and yeah. Her subscription box with Harry Potter stuff, that would be so cool. Imagine what you could get in there, you know, like the broomstick and, you know, like a model of that owl. I'd like one of those owls. That would be very cool. So the contest is, this is what it says on the contest. Think about the antagonist in your book. What is at the root of their conflict? And the antagonist, for those who don't know, is the bad guy. So what is driving them to be the bad guy? What is it that makes them the bad guy in the story? I actually have a lot of fun writing the bad guy because you can give them all kinds of flaws, but you have to kind of make them human as well. They have to have a redeeming quality. They cannot be all 100% evil. The next thing we have is, if you can see that there, the Night Writer. Is that a candle? Oh, it's a candle. It's got kind of a vanilla bean kind of scent to it. Have I written a book before? I have, kind of. So I wrote a book. I've actually written a couple, but I wrote one that I actually think has the potential to see the light of day and get published. I wrote it, I completed it, I took a long time over it. And then as I was doing my editing, I came across some story plot holes that I needed to fix up. And while I was doing that, I kind of fell down this rabbit hole of deciding to change some big components in the actual story. So I'm introducing a whole new element to this book. I wouldn't say it's a complete rewrite, but I am changing some things, and I think I am changing it for the better. There were some components in there that I realized were missing. It was making the book kind of one-dimensional, so I've just got to add some things just to give it a bit of depth. It's kind of a science fiction fantasy story. The opening, I'll just tell you what the opening scene is. The opening scene is this woman who is, you know, she lives by herself. She's not in a relationship, nothing like that. But she's big into running, and she's going for an early morning run on this trail by a river. And she runs early specifically because she likes having the trail to herself. She likes having the solitude. And she comes across someone on the trail. This person is walking far ahead of her on the trail. And she is annoyed because now, you know, there's someone else on the trail. She just wants to be by herself. She doesn't want to have to interact with anyone. And then she sees that this person who is on the trail, it's a man. He drops something from his pocket. Something falls out of his pocket. So as she's passing the spot where this item was dropped, she sees that it's a wallet, and she picks it up and she sprints after the man to return it to him. And just as she reaches him, she's stretching out her hand to give him the wallet, and just as she reaches him, he disappears. So that is the opening scene of the story. It turns into kind of there's a time travel element, there's a science fiction element, there's some elements of futurism in there. So I think it's going to be fun when I've actually finished it and added in this component of, you know, depth that I want to add. I think it'll be kind of cool because it turns out that this man is on the run from something dangerous, and he's, you know, trying to, you know, save the world and all that kind of stuff. Not going to give you too many spoilers because I want you to actually read it when I have completed it. Another thing that always comes in these boxes is a ton of this stuff. So this bright orange shredded stuff, which I've now spilt all over my table and I'm going to have to clean up. Didn't think that went through very well. Ugh! Everywhere. It didn't go into my coffee. It didn't go into my coffee. It's all good. Okay, so every box we get a snack. And this snack for this month is gourmet popcorn. It says vanilla corn singles, all different colors. Send the kids to clean. That's a really good idea. I'm going to open up this popcorn and see what it tastes like. Some of the snacks you get in these boxes are pretty good. Oh yeah, every box has a snack. And on my Facebook feed today, I saw an advertisement for another writing subscription box that guarantees chocolate every month. The last thing I need is chocolate, but what I need and what I want are not necessarily the same thing. So I'm going to try out a piece of the popcorn, orange. It's okay. I'll be honest, I'm not generally a huge fan of popcorn. I don't like how the kernels it just doesn't feel comfortable. The kernels kind of dig into my gums and get stuck in my teeth. So there's orange and there's black ones and there's white ones. And it's kind of in keeping with the Scribbler logo, which is orange and black. So I think I don't know if they had this made specially to coordinate with those colors, but yeah, or maybe it's just, you know what it is? It's the Halloween theme, because this box was sent in October. So I think that's what it is. I think they were going with the orange and black Halloween theme. We have a, oops. That's a button. I'm not too sure who that is supposed to be. Does anyone know who that's supposed to be? Going to be some famous author like Edgar Allan Poe or someone, definitely not Shakespeare. But yeah, it's a big button. There's usually some kind of a notebook in these boxes. And this one it's more like a notepad with individual pages that you rip off. And it is for character building. So if you are planning out a new story or a new book, you can use this to write down some notes of your characters. And I never recommend just sitting down and, deciding you want to write a book and then sitting down and writing the book. I never recommend that because there has to be some degree of planning. Okay, fair enough. Some people can just go into it without any planning whatsoever. For me, there's got to be some degree of planning. I've got to know who my characters are, and that's really the most important part of the planning. I've got to know who is my protagonist, or the good guy, the person whose point of view the story is being told from. I've got to know who the bad guys are. I've got to know who the major characters are, what drives them, what motivates them, where did they come from, what is their backstory. So something like this it's really good to, write all of it down somewhere. Some people use technology to make all of these notes. I like to physically write things down because then I can kind of, and that's something that I would say is lacking in this. I would love this to be in a kind of a post-it form so that I could write it down and then just stick it up on a surface somewhere, and then I would be able to just look at all of my characters all in one place. So, but as a planning tool, it's actually really nice. Good to plan your characters, good to write down some kind of a plot. But, I do find when I don't get too stuck on the plot development, because the way the characters develop sometimes turns out to be contrary to what you thought was going to happen in the plot. And if there's a contradiction between what your characters want to do and what you thought the story was going to do, it's always better, in my experience, to listen to the characters. You kind of get to know them almost like you get to know real people. And the theme of this box seems to be antagonist, because that's what the writing passport is about. The writing passport is this little booklet. It's just very, very small, very little, and it gives kind of a tutorial and some examples of how to tackle whatever the topic of the month is. So this one, you know, it starts off, you know, I'll just read the opening couple of sentences. Oh, the big baddie, President Snow, Hannibal Lecter, Voldemort, Big Brother, Rufus Wylan. You know, so it's naming all of these iconic bad guys. I mean, does it get much worse than Hannibal Lecter? And then it gives you some tips for how to write them, what to do, what not to do. I'm going to shake out all of the orange stuff from inside all of these things. Oh, okay. The publishing, the one who should not be named, the publishing process inside look gives you some insights into what it takes to get a book from conception of the idea right through to publication. Both kids are out. That was warp speed, man. My kids used to be sitting up, and my oldest son in particular used to stay awake until well past midnight some days. And then he would still wake up at like 6 in the morning, and he would be bouncing on the ceiling. And I never knew how he did it. It was always like, does this child not ever need to sleep? Anyway, the publishing process inside Look looks at various elements as to what it takes to get a book from conception to publication, including writing the book and then, you know, designing the book cover. Some things that have been covered are writing your cover letter to the publishers you're approaching. This one, and it's funny, I was just talking about this. This is about plotting and, you know, planning your story before you actually write it. So it says here, some writers are plotters. They produce some form of map, whether written or visual, the details, the action for every part of their book, start to finish. Others are pantsers. So that is the big dichotomy in writing. You're either a plotter or a pantser, or you're somewhere in the middle. And pantser means you are someone who goes in without any planning whatsoever. You just fly by the seat of your pants, hence the name pantser. Most people fall somewhere in the middle of those two extremes. I am definitely in the middle, probably in terms of my character development. I'm definitely a plotter. In terms of my plot development, I'm sort of tending towards the side of being more of a pantser, but not quite all the way. I have to have at least some kind of an outline. So this is all about the differences between those two extremes, and you know, how all writers are really different. Everyone has their own writing style. If everyone was the same, we would not have the diversity of literature that we do. So I think it's kind of cool. I think it's cool that we are all as unique as we are. We then have the exclusive chat. Every month there is a chat with someone who is big in the writing industry, either as an author or as a publisher or as a you know, an editor. This one is Alicia Clancy, senior editor at Lake Union Publishing. So just going to finish my coffee before it gets cold. And now I have a coffee mustache. Do you guys like my coffee mug? It's got my channel logo on it. Do you think I should do merch, like make like t-shirts and coffee mugs and stuff that I could sell? I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. Maybe I'll do it. So the chat with Alicia Clancy, I'll read you what it says on the card. Lake Union Publishing Senior Editor Alicia Clancy works with a wide range of fiction writers, including USA Today bestselling author Barbara O'Neill, Goodreads Choice finalist and bestselling author Glendy Vanderer, and bestselling author Suzanne Redfern. She also cultivates upmarket, talented debut novelists with fresh voices, including Camille Baker and Liz Parker. Prior to joining Lake Union Publishing, Alicia worked as an assistant editor at St. Martin's Press, where her acquisitions included award-winning novelist Julie Cohen and Susie Orman-Schnoll. Previously, she also worked in sales at Palgrave Macmillan and interned for Fine Print Literary Management. The best way to get insights into publishing and how to get published is honestly to listen to these talks. I cannot post a link to this chat because this is a paid subscription box, and when you pay for the box, you are also paying for the, excuse me, I think I drank my coffee too fast. When you pay for the box, you're also paying for the right to log on to this chat. So out of respect for the people who put the box together, we cannot publicly post the link to the chat, but that is on November the 11th. I was going to say, where's the date? There's no date on this thing. It's staring me in the face. If the date was any bigger and bolder, it would jump up and bite me. Says a lot for my powers of observation. So yeah, November the 11th at 12 p.m. So I'm going to do my best to join that. You're making popcorn now. What have I started? Pia, you need to make some cooking videos. I miss watching your cooking mishaps. Something else we get in these boxes is, we get the novel of the month. There's a book in every box. And there's a card that has the signature, the autograph of the author of the novel. So that's kind of cool. Some people like to collect these kinds of memorabilia. So it's nice that they include that. Yeah, I feel ya. It's tough, man. Yeah, and you're in education, Pia, aren't you? You teach kids. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, we're live. I am considering, this is my first ever YouTube live, so I wasn't too sure if I was going to get the technology to work, but looks like I have. I am considering doing this. Do you guys think I should open these boxes live every month? Because I think this is kind of fun. So the novel of the month is Don't Go to Sleep by Bryce Moore. I'll read the blurb on the back. Yeah, you work in a kindergarten. So yeah, anyone who works with kids, whether they're in kindergarten or, any school-age kids, it's really, really hard work. So I can understand you being kind of wiped out. So the blurb on the back of this book. They have never caught me, and they never will. They have never seen me, for I am invisible. I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians and your foolish police call the Axeman. Gianna is an average girl with big worries. She's concerned about her family's store, the Great War, and a mysterious illness that is taking hold of New Orleans. And then the attacks begin. A lone man with an axe is terrorizing families, murdering men, women, and children in their beds as they sleep, and the police can't, or won't, stop him. Gianna knows this monster all too well. Years ago, he attacked her family, and she's worn the scars of their last encounter for a long time. She knows she's the only one who can find him, and as she and her friend Enzo study the crimes, they see a common link between victims that helps lead them to the killer. But as Gianna closes in on the notorious Axeman, she discovers a connection between them that could cost her everything. Oof. That is quite intense. I'm trying to decide if this is this a thriller, or does it kind of verge into being horror? There can be a fine line between thriller and horror. The one I read quite a lot of, and the one I do not. I'm not comfortable reading horror stories, and I'm not comfortable writing them. I've had to write a couple of horror stories for writing competitions, and it's really hard to write, and I find it equally hard, and it's possibly because I have such trouble reading them. It's probably why I also have trouble writing them. So I will read a few pages of this book, and I'll see if I continue reading it or not. Which reminds me, I have a whole stash of things. I don't read every single book I get in these boxes because some of them are in genres that I just don't appeal to me. There's, no shade on the authors. There's nothing wrong with the actual books. But, we all have we all have our tastes as to what we like to read. So I don't read all of the books, and I've got a whole box full of stuff, and I don't use all of the stuff that I get either. Some of the things I put in a I've got a whole container full of things that I haven't used, have no intention of using, the books that I have no intention of reading. And those become my giveaways. And I think I am due for another giveaway. I haven't done one for, I think it's more than a year since I did my last giveaway. I don't remember when I actually did it. I think it's been more than a year. So I think I need to do another giveaway. So I will collect together some of these items, and what I do is I put them into one of these boxes, and I have some kind of a drawer on, it's just a random drawer on YouTube, and it's also on my Instagram and my Facebook pages. Used to be on Twitter as well, but I don't really like the direction Twitter has been going. So my feed hasn't been appealing to me for a long time. So I think I might just drop Twitter. I haven't decided yet. But I have this drawer on all of my social media platforms that I'm actually active on. There is no requirement to like anything or subscribe or follow or, just purely, tell me you want to be entered into the drawer. Your name goes into a hat. And then I draw a name out of the hat, and that person wins. The last winner was someone from Romania, and had a little bit of trouble getting the box there, mostly because the address information was incomplete, but the winner did end up getting his box, so I was very happy about that. I know our friend Mitchell, he won a box, the first giveaway I did. So I think I need to do another one. So I will keep you guys posted on all of that. And that was my Scribbler box. Yeah, I'm not sure if Elon is taking Twitter in the right direction. From what I've heard, the initial reports are not good. I believe you have to pay now to be verified on Twitter, and which means that verification is, you ship to Bulgaria. It takes a long time. And that's the thing. And if you want to add a tracking number to your shipment, it increases the cost exponentially. But yeah, I believe you have to pay $8 a month on Twitter for the verification check mark. And the thing I find so ironic about that is that Elon Musk tweeted that he doesn't want to be a peasants versus, I forget how he worded it, but like some people get verified and others don't, and like there's this class distinction, and he wants to do away with that class distinction. But if that's the case, just make verification free for everyone. Just verify everyone, or verify no one. Whereas now he's created this divide based on, whether you're going to pay $8 a month or not. And yeah, he's fired half of the staff. Apparently, some of them have not been fired in the most humane ways. It's been kind of brutal. What's Tommy got against the World Cup? Why? I'm assuming you mean World Cup soccer or football as they call it in England. Yeah. And speaking of England, I'm going to be in England soon. I'm going to be there. My son and I are stopping over there for a couple of days. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of my YouTuber friends there. Phil, Jim. We're going to meet up in Birmingham. I'm hoping Sophie can make it. But Sophie disappears sometimes. I hope Sophie is okay. If anyone, Sophie, if you ever watch this, let us know you're okay. Yes. I am really curious. What is the matter with the World Cup? Is it that the tickets are so expensive? Because that's the problem we have with hockey here in Canada. Hockey is like the big thing here in North America. No one can afford to go to a hockey game, and I don't know. It is very corporate, and I guess it's the same problem a lot of people have with the NFL in the United States as well. With the Super Bowl and everything. It is extremely corporate. They make the location. Yeah, baseball as well. I think most of these big sporting franchises. I think we are triggering some anger here. So Tommy, as someone who does not live in Europe, and I'm not even in a country that is big on soccer. I am curious. He is sleeping outside. That's a little harsh, especially in Norway. Isn't it freezing cold there? Is that stereotype true, by the way? Is it always cold in Norway? Because a lot of people think that of Canada, and it's not actually true. A lot of people think, well, you're in Canada, it's always cold there. In the summer, it is really, really hot here. But yeah, there's this stereotype of Norway being cold all the time as well. And I'm going to get there someday. I've never been. I will get to Norway someday. On one of my trips to South Africa, I will plan a layover in Norway and go and camp out at Pia's house and make her do live cooking videos with me. Cold and wet, really. A lot of. I guess it makes sense. Nice and warm inside, but apparently you're sleeping outside, so you won't get to benefit from that warmth. Oh, you're in Alaska, Michelle? Oh, okay. I've never been to Alaska either. Are you in a sort of a remote area of Alaska, or are you in one of the more populated areas? Because there's also a stereotype of Alaska being kind of wild and middle of nowhere, and like you have to go hunting for your food, and it's always interesting to learn which of these stereotypes have any kind of element of truth to them. Kenai Peninsula, I know some who live off-grid, yeah. Kenai Peninsula, okay, so I am going to look up where that is. Pia's Peruvian genes can't take the low temperature. Pia, same. I was born in South Africa. I was raised on, beautiful summer hot temperatures, and in the winter I turn into the world's biggest crybaby. Soon as the temperature drops below zero, hurricane winds and rain. No, you know what? I can handle most kinds of weather, even though I don't like cold weather, and I don't particularly like being snowed in or anything like that. I can handle being outside in the rain and in the snow and, you know, obviously in the sunshine. That's my favorite. But one weather condition that I absolutely hate, and it actually makes me feel angry, is the wind. I absolutely hate the wind. If I'm in the wind, I get irritable as hell. So yeah, no, that a windy place would not be the place for me. So what I am doing right now, I have my iPad and I am looking up where Michelle is in Alaska. Isn't it great that you can just look up this information? Kenai Peninsula. Okay, so that's where Anchorage is, on the kind of on the southern coastline, right in where the Gulf of Alaska is. Okay, and then something else I need to look up is where Street View is cold and creepy. My husband and son have made it onto Street View where we are a couple of times. 3 hours from Anchorage. Wow, that is a long way. But you know, it's quite amazing. Until you actually live in North America, you do not really appreciate how big it is. I mean, it was a 5-hour flight for my husband and son to get to Vegas. You know, that's a long way. That's almost as far as it is to get from Toronto to really anywhere in Europe. You know, it's a 7 or 8 hour flight to get from here to Europe, depending on where you go, and you know, 5 hours from here to Vegas. It's a long way. And I also want to look up where Pia is in relation to what I know of Norway's geography, which isn't a lot. Okay, so I was looking for Oslo. Do you want to move to Canada, Pia? Yeah, you know what, you should at least visit. You go to Peru, you should fly to Toronto, hang out with me for a little while, and then fly down to Peru. A small island called, okay, so if I zoom, called Sotra, okay. You live on an island? That is so cool. Sotra, Norway. It's not cool. That looks like a really tiny little island. Like, how many people are on this island? And how do you get from the island to the mainland? Because it doesn't look like there's any road connecting the island to the mainland. So do you, like, is there a ferry, or like, how do you get from the island to the mainland and back? I think Tommy's getting pressed. I still don't know what's wrong with the World Cup. Feels like 4. You run into, yeah. Oh, there is a bridge. Okay. I hear you about the introvert thing. It's, you know, it can be hard living in a close-knit community, but at the same time, would you not find that you have more opportunity to be isolated in a place like that? I guess there's pros and cons of both. I actually don't think I would like living in a place where everybody knows everything about everything that's happening in your life. I think that could be a little bit challenging. Yeah. So I'm going to pack up these things. Can you guys tell me how this microphone has worked out for me? Because this is the first time I'm using this microphone. And I just want to know if it works. I was setting it up 5 minutes before I was going live, which I know is not exactly sensible, but can have another piece of popcorn. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up giving this popcorn to one of my kids. I don't hate it, but it's not like, oh my goodness, this is brilliant. So I'll probably end up giving that to one of my kids. Okay, so what's next for me and my channel? I'm thinking I'm going to do this live every month. I actually prefer opening these Scribbler boxes live as opposed to on, you know, videos that I edit and post. I think this is a lot more fun this way. I have reactivated my Instagram. The Instagram handle is the same as my YouTube handle, Word Salad with Coffee. I was thinking of TikTok. I don't know about TikTok. I've got a TikTok account, but it's, oh, this hour works. Yeah, I find this is a good time for a lot of people because we get the evening people in Europe and, you know, like South Africa and, you know, people in sort of east of us. And then we get the morning crowd out in places like Vegas, California, all of those people, you know, so Mitchell, I don't know if Mitchell was able to join. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do this every month. And I think I will do it at this time. I'm going to be going to South Africa on December the 9th. And what time zone are you in Alaska, Michelle? What time is it there right now? I think you're 3 hours behind us. Because it would be really, really fun to have you join us again. I'd love that. Everyone who's on here, I've really enjoyed having this chat with everyone. I'm going to South Africa December the 9th, and I think the next Scribbler box will come before then. So I will get another live in before I travel. So that'll be good. And I'm going to be posting more videos again as well. I just have to decide what kind. Well, I don't have to decide. I have to figure out what kind of videos people would like to see on my channel. Oh, you're 1 hour behind California. So you are 10, 11, 12, 1. So you're 4 hours behind us. Good to know. Okay. So then, yeah, so this is a good time because it's not too late for the people east, and it's not too early for the people west. I wouldn't want to put anyone in a position of having to get up at 6 in the morning. So I think I will stick to this time. And yeah, like I was saying, I am in the process of figuring out what people actually want to see on my channel. So I'll be posting videos, and I gladly accept any feedback on those videos. If I post something and you hate it, tell me that you do not want to see videos like that. If you love it, also let me know, and I'll make more content like that. So, you know, I've had the reaction videos where I react to funny memes and quotations and all that kind of stuff. I've got these Scribbler unboxings, which, like I said, I think I'm going to do live from now on. And then I've got the shorts that I've been doing as writing tips. So yeah, let me know what you think I should post on the channel, and that's what I'll focus on. I think I'm going to end off for now. I have got a video to film for my other channel. I don't know how you landed here either, Michelle, but it's been so great. I'm so glad you joined us and react to TikTok videos related to, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I have not reacted to any TikTok videos. And I think the reason why I haven't is that I am not sure about, so if I'm reacting to something that uses a TikTok sound, like music or whatever, that I cannot use on YouTube, would I get a copyright claim? Who knows? I've got to kind of figure all that out. Oh, poor Tommy. So yeah, Pia, on one of my trips to South Africa, maybe in a year or two, I'm going to plan to visit you in Norway, and I'm going to make you do live cooking videos with me, because I think that would be fun. And I'm going to do videos with Phil and Jim, and if she can make it, Sophie, when I'm in England as well. So yeah, I've got a video to make on my other YouTube channel. I've got 2 other channels for anyone who's interested. My Gen X Life is where I talk about, well, anything really. I literally don't have a niche on there, which I think is why that channel struggles, because you never know what to expect. It's anything from, political rants to, just me rambling on about nothing. And then I've got a new channel called The Autistic Traveler, and that is all about, as the name suggests, traveling. Just travel tips. I'm doing a video about, the video that I'm going to be filming there is tips for traveling if you're autistic or if you're traveling with someone who's autistic. I did a video not long ago about things airplane passengers do that annoy me, which I turned into a TikTok series as well. But yeah, so those are my 2 channels. I will, when I have posted this live onto my YouTube, when I've published it, I will put some links to those channels in my description. And I will also put in a link to my son's YouTube, which is Doyle Longevity, where he talks about all of his car stuff. So yeah, he's 16. He's accomplished some very cool things. So it's a fun journey to follow. So I am going to go. I am so happy that you guys joined me. I am so happy that I got this technology to work. And I will be posting videos in the next few weeks. And I will see you guys next month. I will actually try to schedule the live so that you guys know when it is. Oh, you subscribe to him. Excellent. You should check out his Facebook page as well. He actually posts more on the Facebook page than he does on YouTube. So check out the Facebook page as well. He does a lot of live broadcasts. He's way better at live broadcasting than I am. He's more of an extrovert. Anyway, so happy to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you next month. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Bye.